Right, this is just using Excel, just showing you, and on this page here I'm just going to show you what I'm going to do. I'm going to enter some data. There'll be an ID and a variety, or some varieties in fact. We're going to add a random number column. We're going to fix it, because if you don't fix it the random number changes every time Excel updates. Then we're going to reorder and save these as a new ordered selection. And then if we only want to select a certain number, in this case we might just select 12 out of the 20 varieties. I'll show you that then you can randomly select them, and then if you want to you can reorder them, and then obviously your next step would be to lay out those particular varieties in your field trial. So in this sheet here, and I'm just clicking on a different worksheet at the bottom here, which is called sheet 1, I actually have already typed in, we've got an ID and then we've got a variety. Now just for simplicity we've got numbers, and as you can see they're not consecutive, and variety names can be quite complicated, so in this case maybe we've just got accession numbers. What I'm going to do next in the next column is to put in a random number, and I'm going to use the function key up here, fx. So when I click on there it comes up with a box, and because I've used random before it's actually available for me, so I just do OK. And if you like, it just tells you here that it takes no arguments, and the formula result is volatile, and that's one of the things you'll notice, it changes all the time. So there we go, we've got a random number in there, and we'll just, if you see on that corner, you just pull down on that column and it will give you a whole load of random numbers. Now I don't want this to change, so the next step, as I mentioned, is to just take that column, and in fact if you like you can just select that whole area, and up here you can go copy, and then you use the paste key and use the values. You can see the values. When I do that, that function is gone and it's just a number. That's great. So then our next step, if we want to randomly select these varieties, assuming that these are random numbers, we can just go into that whole area, and in this case we want to be somewhere in this area here, and in fact when you're in that area you can go data sort, here's a sort key, and then you can tell it you want to sort by random number. Okay, so that's your third column. Now that's sorted by the random column. Random number is the smallest through to the highest, and then if I just wanted to select a certain number of varieties for my planting, obviously if you actually put in numbers like 1, 2, and then if you again pull that down, when you get down to 12, they are your 12 selected variables. And just for completeness sake I usually just put like a dot or a missing value equivalent just in there, so that if anything happens to it I know that I've still got my 12. And in fact what you could do, this is one I've done previously, you could actually just highlight that, and this is one I've done previously, you can then just plant these varieties. So these are the varieties that you take out, and you might be doing a paired t-test or paired example on a farmer's field, whatever you're doing. So that's really just showing you that we entered data, we added a random number column, we fixed it by doing control, highlighting an area, copy paste back into the same area, then we reordered it using the random number column, we selected 12 out of the 20, and then we could reorder if you need to. So if you wanted to at that stage you could reorder, you could actually take those selected, I'll just show you, you could go control C is copy, you can put it into a new sheet, control V is paste, and if you wanted to go back to your variety numbers for some reason you just go data sort, and then of course you just do it by variety. Okay, so now you know which varieties if you were looking up accessions, and in fact you probably wouldn't need those anymore, so you can just delete them out, and then when you plant them you can start using this for your data collection. So that's the end of this tip.